Hey, it's time for an out-of-this-world story from Breakup Cheater. Buckle up because this one's not just about heartbreak. It's about justice. Because hell hath no fury like a husband scorned. Today on Breakup Cheater, we bring you a tale where the man didn't lash out in anger. He planned. He didn't scream or beg, he strategized. And when justice was served, it wasn't hot, it wasn't cold. It was meticulously designed. She cheated. She thought I'd roll over and pay alimony like a fool. So I proved her affair in court, and I took everything. If there's one thing I've learned from the ashes of my marriage, it's this. Never take responsibility for the actions of other people. If your wife cheats, that's on her, not you. She had options. She could have left. She could have talked. But instead, she lied, she snuck around, and she betrayed. For months I blamed myself. I racked my brain, thinking maybe I didn't do enough. Maybe I pushed her away. But in the end, bad people do bad things. It's really that simple. Now that the dust has settled, I think I have more insight into what really went wrong than I ever thought I would. So let me tell you the whole thing from the top. For the sake of this story, I'll call her Amy. She's 48. I'm 50. We were married for nearly 20 years. That's 2 decades. You'd think that'd mean something, right? But clearly, it didn't mean enough. I met Amy when I was still hustling my way into the roofing business. Barely out of my teens. I was 21 or 22, climbing ladders and fighting for every dollar I could earn. I built my business from scratch. Blood, sweat, and broken knuckles. And I built a damn good life for us. Meanwhile, Amy worked her way into real estate. She got good, really good. And I was proud of her. We made a strong team. She'd sell the homes, I'd fix the roofs. And with that kind of synergy, we made a comfortable life. Raised our kids. Moved into better houses over time. Our last home, our supposed retirement home, was in an upscale neighborhood. It wasn't cheap, but we had made it. And that's where the cracks started showing. The first time I heard the name Randall, it was in passing. Just a neighbor. One of the dozens we'd waved to while walking the dog or grabbing the mail. Amy mentioned that he was planning to move to Europe and wanted to sell his place. Sounded normal. She offered to help list it. She'd walk over twice a week to discuss pricing, interest, whatever. It only lasted a few weeks, and the house sold fast. But after that, she started finding more and more excuses to leave the house. Little errands, late meetings, quick trips. At first I didn't overthink it. She was a go-getter. That was who she'd always been. But then came the phone stuff. She got defensive. Cagey. Always tilting the screen away. Turning her body slightly when texting. And then there was that night. She came back from a supposed client meeting, poured herself a glass of water in the kitchen, and I tried to be affectionate. Tried to kiss her, touch her like I always had, and she recoiled. Pulled away from me like I was a stranger. Then, without a word, she ran upstairs and jumped straight into the shower. I'd have to be a damn fool not to know something was off after that. I didn't want to play detective. I didn't want to go through her phone, her emails, or social media. So I hired a professional. Why? If there was something there, I wanted the truth, plain and simple. Took a few weeks. I didn't rush him. I wanted to believe there was a misunderstanding. That I was being paranoid. But the signs didn't stop. She kept pulling away. I asked her directly. Is something wrong? Is there something on your mind? Every time she brushed it off. Cold-clipped replies. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Stop overthinking it. And then the PI called me in. I still remember sitting in his office across the desk, trying to act like I hadn't already guessed what I was about to see. He laid the photos down on the table. And Randall. Not once, not twice, but dozens of times. Together at restaurants, a hotel lobby, kissing in a car at night. One photo outside a second house I didn't recognize. Randall was never moving to Europe. That was just the cover story. Hit me like a freight train. I didn't even need to flip through them all. I felt it in my gut, something inside me broke. I went home, walked in through the front door and said calmly, So, how's Randall? She flinched. Like I'd slapped her without lifting a hand. Asked again. And she froze. No denial. No excuses. No lies. Just tears. She broke down crying, but that only made me angrier. I shouted louder than I ever had in our entire marriage. Don't cry now. You made your bed. I told her to pack a bag. She could get the rest of her things later. And as she turned to leave, she paused and spun around with a whole new energy. You know I'm going to milk you for alimony if you try this. Those were the first words out of her mouth after being caught cheating. Not sorry. Not even an explanation. She threatened me. Said she'd take half. Said I'd regret it. But here's the thing, I was already prepared for that. I knew I might lose some things. I was fine with that. Because peace of mind. Freedom from betrayal. That was priceless. She stormed out. And a few days later she came back for the rest of her stuff. We barely said a word. She was out of my life, but the damage had been done. And then came the final twist. Our daughter called me. Furious. Amy had told her that I kicked her out for no reason. That I'd grown paranoid. That I was abusive. So I did the only thing I could do. I told her the truth. I sent her the photos. Proof. And then silence. Long pause. And finally, I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't know. That moment made everything clear to me. Amy hadn't just betrayed me. She tried to turn our children against me too. But I wasn't going to let her. I was done being the fool. And now, I'm free. I rebuilt what she tried to ruin. Kept my dignity. I stayed smart. And I made sure that in the end, she paid the price for every lie she ever told.